what they do is they make another, they're called diphthongs, is that correct? They're diphthongs, and they make another whole sound completely. And so when you come across those in words, I start making a poster with kids of vowel pairs that don't play fair and that we have to learn. So the AW, it says aw, so we have W acting as a vowel there. And OU says ow. And EA, holy cow, what a messy little sound that is. All right, because it can say A or E. All right. This EI also can say many, many different things in here. But if you can keep track of them and point those out to kids, they become linguists and start picking them up.
With AY, is a vowel pair as well?
It really is a vowel pair. That's an excellent point. AY is a vowel pair, but because the only time Y acts as a consonant is at the very beginning of a word. Otherwise, it's playing like a vowel. When it's stealing, it's a stealer. It steals other sounds, like the E and the I sound. In the AY, it's kind of borrowing from the A. And so it says A. But if you vowel grabbed it as a consonant, it's going to say the same thing as if you call it a vowel pair. So I think you go both directions depending on your age of your kids and how much they know about the letter Y, because Y really is a thief. Naughty thing. This is one that I use when I'm working fluency with a group, and this is called flexing, and the vowels when they don't play fair, and a lot of times when you get a 3-syllable word, that middle syllable is going to not play fair. And so you want to talk about how you flex a sound, how you find what it's going to say. So you probably start out with its long sound. Remember that line I was putting over the top of the vowel? So it's a long sound here. So you try that first. And then if that long sound doesn't work, you go to the short sound. Remember the little smiley face thing I was putting over the words for the short sound? So that looks like that. And then there's this other whole thing, and it goes back to the German language that's been integrated into our English, and it's called schwa, and it says, say schwa with me, and then say, and it's that way you represent that, instead of the long, the short, the schwa is actually an upside down E, so you flex it to the sound, and you can almost see the upside down E there. So you have long that you try, short that you try, and then the And usually in a 3-syllable word, you're gonna get a lot of that in the middle, all right, because we've slaughtered the English language, slaughtered it. So what I would do here is if a kid misses a word when they're doing fluency, is I would put the word in here and vowel grab it with them. If it plays fair, it stays here. If it doesn't, and you have to flex it, long, short, can you see the muscle coming, right? Little muscle guy, connected. Then you put it over into the don't play fair. So they've read the passage, you vowel grab the words they missed, they go practice the passage, and then they come back to you, and before they read that passage again and again and again, they practice those words every time before they go through and read it. So they know what the word is, they're not practicing it wrong. That's the hardest things for kids, is practicing it wrong. It's hard to undo. The next list is a list of 2-syllable words that mostly play fair. There's a few in there like reindeer, and the EI is saying A in that case, and so that's one of the vowel pairs that doesn't play fair. But this list of words mostly plays fair if you teach the naughty vowel sounds and the flexing piece. The next one list is a list of schwa words that are out there. A lot of these, if you notice, look at the beginning of them. We have above, about, adjust, ago, among. That A at the beginning, we no longer say above, about. We say about, above. All right, go to England, totally different. They don't have schwa because they haven't gutturalized it like American English has. So if you look through those all have a in them as a teaching tool. Yes, ma'am?
Oh, I was just saying, why don't they say aluminum? Because they don't want the sound.
Exactly. Next one is really good words for vowel grabbing. I particularly like dinner and diner because it shows the difference between opened and closed. And supper and super also show the difference between open and closed. And it goes to, why do you double that consonant when you add an ending to it? So you can keep it into the closed, so it says the vowel says the right thing. Another whole day on that one. The next one are bizarro words, or made-up words. There's a list of chains, syllable chains for kids to practice, there's a whole bunch of those. These came from a dyslexic conference that I went to, and practicing these chains are extremely important. They put a lot of Ds and Bs and Ps in there, so kids are seeing them and automatically getting to the sound that it makes, along with the vowel sounds in there. So a whole slew of those. And then there's a list of 3-syllable words that again mostly play fair. But if you look at the word number 2, abduction,